morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Change is in the air as a new school year begins. Adrian, now 15 years old, is feeling the change.
New term, new farm, new uniform, new classmates, and a new Adrian.
His preoccupation with popularity is no more.
I'm the new Adrian, the Adrian that fights a cause and succeeds.
Popularity-focused schemes may be a thing of the past, but the perilous adventures which underscored them are very much a part of the present.
I know you got what it takes to survive the Dead Sea. Error.
You don't know my mother. If I could survive her, I could survive anything.
The motivations are different, but the results are the same. Complications and contention around every corner. Look what happened to Bad Nasty. Man, we gonna mess with this little man good. Is Adrian a new matured creation? Or is he just a repackaged version of his old self?
No, I see clearly who you have become.
As he faces old, new, and perceived enemies, could it be possible his biggest enemy is himself?
You gotta love pain.
Find out in these intriguing adventures, which consistently put Adrian at loggerheads. Adrian?
No, I am definitely not Adrian.
I love it. Now, this is the third in the series. We've had Adrian at last, Adrian at large, now Adrian at loggerheads. And in this one, Adrian is now grown up. Adrian is wearing long pants and the white shirts and the tie and everything. So he's no longer the little boy. So what's different about Adrian in this one, Adrian at loggerheads?
Well, it's interesting that you should ask that question because that is the central question throughout the whole book. What is different, and well, is anything different? So he's no longer trying to be popular, so that is a major change, and he is expecting that with the popularity behind him, that all of the turmoil that underscored the first two books would change, but it doesn't change, and therefore it sort of hints that him trying to be popular wasn't necessarily the problem, but the symptom of a larger problem that he's yet to uncover.
If you can survive my mother, I can survive anything. That's what he said. And the book begins with the evolution of Adrian Manning, and these are fictional names that we're using, by the way. Adrian walked across the hard court in the middle of the school. In the early morning breeze, he stepped with perky confidence en route to his classroom after a period in the science lab. He beamed with pride as he walked past the juniors. Just a couple months ago, he was a third former in short pants, looking up to the senior students. Now, he was the one in long pants and a tie, and he was convinced that those juniors were looking at him with the same admiration he had for his seniors a couple months ago. He's grown up, and so he's beginning to take on a lot more adult activities and having a more adult way of thinking as well. What's this book for the young teenager who's struggling with self?
Well, the major question that I think all of us are asking growing up is, who am I, or who should I be? And that is really the crux here. That is really the question Adrian is asking himself. Who exactly should I be? So the first story is called The Evolution of Adrian Manning, because you sort of meet different incarnations of him as he is trying to carve out, who exactly should I be if I'm not trying to be popular anymore? So I think that that is something that should be very relatable to anyone growing up. And we seek to give you a healthy answer to how you should go about with answering those types of questions.
It's very easy reading. It is also very fun reading as well. It's a story that you're telling, and in this telling of the story, we can actually see We actually see Adrian Manning himself walking through the school, encountering different people of different ages and stages, and then in the final chapter, making that turning point. So talk to me about the crafting of the story from the evolution right through to the turning point. I'd like to get into your mind to see how your mind churns so that you are able to come to a conclusion. And the series doesn't end here, but certainly the book ends at the turning point.
Yes. Yes. So yes, there are 3 short stories in the book. They can be read completely independently, but when you read them one after the next, there is definitely one tale that is woven where we kind of open with him trying to work out who exactly am I. And by the final story, we sort of bring you to a place of not just understanding what Adrian does, but why Adrian does it. Because, well, it is necessary to bring this guy some kind of wholeness. He has been through much.
Yes.
He has been through much hardship. So I felt fairly adamant that even though the hardship is entertaining to watch him face, that we sort of owe him some wholeness, and yeah, we are starting to bring him in to wholeness by the end of this book.
That is such a wonderful way to put it, indeed. And so he's met now a turning point where he has to make some decisions. And in that's where the book ends at the moment, because it continues in the next book, indeed. Mario, these books are so good books to pick up and to really make wonderful gifts of at this time. Where can people get copies of all 3 you've done so far?
Yes, please. Yes, so I am working with Day's Bookstore, Independence Square. So you can get all 3 of them there. You can also order them directly from me on marioherbert.com.
Right. MarioHerbert.com is his website. You can get it from there, or you can go to Day's Bookstore in town and pick up a copy. And you just tie a ribbon around it because it's so colorfully depicted that you don't need to put any kind of gift wrapping at all. Wrap it with a ribbon and gift it to a nice teenager, a young boy today, some young person today, because it will make a big difference as they turn the pages. Because up next in the series is Adrian at Liberty. Can't wait to hear how he's liberated himself from all of these things, seeking popularity. He recognizes that it's merely transient. Popularity is merely transient. Just being a solid person, making that turning point and turning to what? Adrian at Liberty is the book that will tell you what it is that he turns to. Thank you so much, Mario Herbert. All the best. Continue writing. Very proud of the work that you've been able to produce so far. And I hope that many people contact you or head into Day's Bookstore and get themselves copies of these books. Adrian at Loggerhead, Adrian at Last, Adrian at Large. They are available. They are Barbadian, but they are very well crafted, very well written indeed by that man on your screen, Mario Herbert. Thank you, Mario. All the best to you.
Thank you so much, Pearson.
You're very welcome indeed. MarioHerbert.com. MarioHerbert.com. MarioHerbert.com is his website.